Hi everyone. So today's video is about bibliomancy or divination using books. Um, there's a sketchy history about when it all began. It probably began when the first book was printed. Uh, in the Middle Ages, they used the Bible and other sacred texts. Uh, so, um, but it's been used throughout history. A lot of times, the classic texts are used, works of Shakespeare and that type of thing. This video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it up between books that are intended, that were published, that were created for using them as oracles for bibliomancy. And then we'll talk about like just using regular books, miscellaneous books, uh, and um, and show you some examples. Why would you want to learn, or why would you do bibliomancy? As far as learning, there's no great secret or system to it. There may be some slight differences in procedures, but basically you take a deep breath, you consider the question that you want to answer, um, maybe clarify in your mind, make the question as specific as possible, and then either using some random way, taking a book and opening it up to a certain page. You may have a page number that just comes to mind that you look up, or maybe it's a roll of dice that determine what page you look at, or you just simply put your hand on the book and slowly open it, riffle the pages until you feel compelled to stop. And then you just put your finger on the one of the pages and then read the words or the phrase that your finger's next to, and then see how that fits in with your question. So there's different way there. So there is a little different ways of doing it. So why would you want to do bibliomancy? Well, first of all, um, it's another oracle. My background is with scrying, and when you learn scrying, you realize that the world is everything is an oracle, right? And just the practice of taking some type of random phrase and trying to apply it to a question really works that intuitive muscle, and I think makes all of the other types of readings that you do using other oracles much stronger. Really works that intuitive muscle. Things that I tell people that are very skeptical about any type of divination is something that I learned from a gentleman named Vincent Petici, who's written some books. This is the Essential Tarot. He's written some books on tarot, has a YouTube channel. He's worth looking up. He's very knowledgeable. And he had the connection as far, to explain how the tarot worked, and I think it applies to sort of really most oracles, and that is it's really an exercise in creative thinking, creative problem solving. Because in creative problem solving, you take a fixed element, the problem that you want solved. With tarot, you may break this question down into components, and so that would be your spread, your tarot spread. And then you would apply a random variable, and that would be shuffling and picking out the tarot card. And then finding the relationship between the fixed element and the random variable is what he calls a conceptual blending. I think that's what it's called in creative problem solving. And it certainly, I think it applies to bibliomancy as well. The the book, the fixed object or is element is the your question, and the variable random object is the random page phrase that you look at, and then trying to find a correlation between those two. So I think it does. It's just another way to have you look at a problem that you wouldn't look at normally from a perspective. Now, I found this. This is a Bibliomancy journal, and it's just a sort of a journal to keep notes of your exploration into bibliomancy. For instance, we have a section where and when, so the location and time that you do the bibliomancy, the question, the title of the book. You open to the particular page, they have the page, and they have you record the line down, and then there's a little space for reflection, and then that's just repeated. So that's basically this reflection of what you get from the sentence or phrase. This was like $5 on Amazon, so I haven't used it yet, obviously, but I plan on it. Because a lot of times, especially when you're using random books, the answer doesn't just, you just don't get an answer right away. You have to sort of let things stew a little bit, and before you maybe can find some type of correlation. I also mentioned maybe in a previous video that you can also use the little white books, instruction books that come with all tarot decks, most tarot decks. I pulled a couple here. This one is from the Pulp Tarot, and this is from Bradley Valentine's Angel Tarot deck. And I mean, you could keep this with you, and you know, pick a tarot card at random. I just ended on the Ace of Pentacles, you know, and there may be also some words in the description that you sort of key in on. So maybe a reason not to throw these away when you get your deck. And this takes up hardly any room at all. This is a little bit more intense. It's a little larger than the standard white book, as you can see. But you can certainly use this as well. Landed on the 6 of water, and so that's a way of randomly generating a tarot card, and it also gives you those keywords that you may focus on. So I think that's what we're going to do in this video, and we'll see how it goes. So thanks a lot for watching, and let's do it. Okay, so we'll start with some books that are specifically made for bibliomancy. This is called the Oracle Book, Answers to Life's Questions. It's kind of looks like an old, supposed to look like an old book. Well, actually, I got it as a used book. So let's take a look. Let's open to a random page. And once you open the book, it's not like a left or right page. It's so you don't have to worry about that. So it says, listen to the psychic, avoid it like the plague. So there's that. And so apparently this wisdom is coming from different, apparently, oracles. So this is, or just systems. This is astrology. And in regards to the sun, urges you to enjoy the attention. Let's open to another page. This is apparently coming from dice. A roll of 12 means an indisputable yes. So for the most part, these are kind of like answers that a magic 8-ball would provide. Not a lot of nuance. So that's the Oracle book. Now, one that's kind of similar is this one's called The Answers. And this is by Neil Somerville. And again, let's open it to a random page. And again, you don't have to worry about left or right page. So it says, fortune is ever seen accompanying industry. Work determinedly towards what you want. So these are basically quotes from different people. And okay, let's take a look. Take concerted action. Nothing will happen otherwise. Pretty standard type of answers. We cannot do everything at once, but we can do something at once. Calvin Coolidge said that. Do what you can do now. So there you have those. So those are, again, some books that provide some basic answers to yes or no questions. We have a Angel's Answers book, a Celestial Oracle, and these are angel messages, and as you can guess, they're all pretty much positive, upbeat sayings. Oh, and also the page numbers. They have page numbers, so you could get a page number in your head or roll some dice. So this one says, asking without giving invites dissatisfaction. Giving without asking leads to contentment. So let me read that again. Asking without giving invites dissatisfaction. Giving without asking leads to contentment. Okay. Here we have, your mission in life changes according to the level of your inner growth. Your current mission is to do as much as you are capable of doing now. So, nice little answers, little saying, angel wisdom. Your reality is a mirror that reflects your inner self. Observe it carefully and discover yourself. So that's an Angel's Answer book. Here we have the Poetry Oracle. So this, you open it up to a random page. They have things on each side of the page. And there's like a sort of an illustration. The answer is yes, so there's that. And then we have hurry up, please, it's time. The age requires this task. Create a different image, reanimate the mask. Here we have, keep walking though there's no place to get to. I became you, Lord, and forgot you. It says, don't wait. So that's the type of thing they have. So they have like a very simple answer, and then they have different lines of poetry. That's a different type of oracle. Show you the back. The Poetry Oracle. And one of my favorites is The Oracle Within. Now, this book, I think, was published in 1991, and it's by Dick Sutphin, I believe it's pronounced. He actually writes the directions right on the front. Be still, close your eyes, breathe deeply, dwell upon your most important question. Know there is a solution. Expect a miracle. Then open this book at random and read the message from your higher self, your oracle within. And the reason I like this is because they're pretty meaty. They got a lot. So this is, oh, and they're also numbered. So again, you could use dice or a number might come to you. I mean, you can pause it and if you want to read it, but I find that all of them have really worthwhile information. Also, you know, maybe you're doing a tarot reading and you get, a card comes up, maybe 11, maybe that's justice, and so you look up 11, and this gives you some more information. It might just be a nice thing to add to a reading, tarot reading. And then finally, we have Mo, a Tibetan divination system. Well, this is kind of, you know, I would have think that, I don't know if I Ching would be considered bibliomancy. I mean, you take coins that have those symbols on them, you toss them, and then you look up in the book. So maybe that might be a form of bibliomancy. So this is a system that you roll a die 2 times or 2 dice. I have a very cool die here that that was made for me by a Tibetan practitioner, and it has numbers 1 through 6, but it also has the some of the Tibetan words on it. So what's interesting about this, and I know you can still get this on Amazon, is I mean, you look up what you roll, and this one, the Golden Lotus, and they have different sections for instance, family and family, property, and life, intentions and aims, friends and wealth, enemies, guests, illness, evil spirits, spiritual practices, even lost items, and other things as well. So quite a bit with just a roll of the die. So that's the mode Tibetan divination system. So now we come to some books, some just regular books that you can use for bibliomancy. I'm not recommending these 2 books that you go out and get specifically for bibliomancy. You know, it could be any book at all, really. I'm just using these 2 as an example because these are 2 of the books that I'm currently reading. As you can see, I have bookmarks in them. And so, you know, I don't want to tell you what books to use, what type of books, or what to use or to avoid. Who knows? Maybe maybe a college algebra or high school algebra book will will work really well. Um, so currently I'm using the Aaron Morgenstern, The Starless Sea. I read her Night Circus, which I liked. And this is kind of, I think Publishers Weekly said this was like a love letter to bibliophiles. So there is this concentration on the idea of books. And and I kind of like using fiction uh, for doing bibliomancy. And uh, let's see, I also use now a Desert Oracle. It's funny that it's called the Desert Oracle and you're using it as an oracle, by Ken Lane here. He has a podcast and he basically tells stories of the desert. These are short stories because he has a podcast. And I think he calls it Desert Oracle. I not really sure, but maybe it has something to do with in the desert you can have revelations, so to speak. I think if I pick up this book, I have to also just think about the symbolism of a desert. You know, the harsh, adapting to a harsh environment, solitude, that type of thing. So anyway, these are two books. So we'll give a demonstration. Again, the idea is to really formulate a question and be specific as possible. It's kind of tough doing one on a video like this, so we'll make up a question that a lot of readers get. So let's go with will I get the job? How about that? I'm thinking about applying for a job. Will I get the job? So you take a deep breath, and I'm just going to open it until I feel inspired to stop there. And then I'm going to put my finger on a section without looking. And he collapses on the bed without clearing the books from it. Sweet sorrows clutched in one hand. It falls to the floor as he sleeps. So the word I would is sort of collapses on the bed. That almost feels like well, it could, you know, again, how you perceive it could be that he collapses in sort of in despair because maybe he's not getting the job. Maybe it's just he's losing sleep worrying about it, whether he gets it or not. Clearing the books from it could also mean, you know, just not really, it's just having it stick in his mind. A lot of times we put so much energy into things that are kind of beyond our control. You know, after the job interview or whatever, you almost have to put it into like fate's hands. Sweet sorrows sort of also sort of as an indication that might not be getting the job. So anyway, so that's kind of how you do it. So let's try it with the Desert Oracle this time. Let's try to think of a different question. Question that readers get. How about I know this, you would probably want to rephrase questions like this, but will he return? How about a former boyfriend that This Querent wants to know if he'll they broke up. Will they get back together? Usually, I just say no. But let's go for this and see what happens. So, will he return? Will he return? And I'm going to go right here. Abby's papers are in the University of Arizona Special Collections Library. As for Abby's beloved Big A Burger and Beer joint just off campus, it closed in 1987. So that tells me that he's not coming back. That relationship, like this burger and beer joint, is closed. So, I mean, that's kind of like how you do it. Well, I said at the beginning that I would end with a couple more examples of books that were created expressly for bibliomancy. And the two latest acquisitions that I got are pretty cool. They're both by Eric J. Millar, and one is called The Portable Disruption Generator. I like the title of that. The other one is The Bottomless Bag, A Mundane Oracle. I think he has a third one that I'm trying to get a hold of, but this one, The Bottomless Bag, let's look at that one first for a second. This contains just objects, basically. And they have numbers here at the top. And so one of the ways you could do it, I mean, you could just open it, think of your question, and then open it to a random page. We got one on each page. So if you pick this one, you picked gauze to cover the wound. That's interesting. Over here we have soap to clean and disinfect. So there's also an item number, and the squares at the top are for that you can use 2 dice. I got dice from 1 to 20, so I have a couple of them. So you roll them, and then you look up the particular item. This one, it's a chawan full of rock salt, a beneficial seasoning. Here we have a handheld video game, playful nostalgia. So these are basically items, mundane items. A small rubber gnome. I mean, they are kind of, he has sort of, some are kind of whimsical, you know. A handful of luck and protection. A small rubber gnome. So, how many there are? Different, I mean, it's a pretty thick book. So, so that is The Bottomless Bag. And the other one, another one of his books is The Disruption Generator. And these are not only objects, but these can also, these are, they could be other types of words, feelings, actions. Let's, like this is parasitic. And then he has he has them numbered. So again, you could, if you wanted to, just come up with a number in your mind or roll some dice. Parasitic, to be fed on or feed off another, an invasive influence that changes those it inhabits from within. And I like his illustrations too. This is a gas mask. A filter from the world outside yourself, protection from harmful things otherwise inhaled. That's kind of cool. So let's see if I can find something that's just well, parasitic is, there's complicated. So again, more than just objects. And I've been having fun with these two books. And again, these are just 1 through 20 dice that are pretty cheap, that you can get online to pick a page or an item. So I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching. Well, there you have it, sort of a look at bibliomancy. It's just one of the tools that you can use. I've also done it over Zoom. I'll be with a client, and for some reason, a book cover will come to mind, like a cover of a book, like a book with a red brownish cover. And I asked the person on the call, do you have something like that laying around? And if they, usually they do, or they don't, and they contact me later saying that they did find one in their house. And I'll even maybe, the number 132, page 132 sort of comes to mind. Turn to page 132 and look at the second paragraph and read it, and that's going to provide some insight. And that's just wild, what comes from that. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks a lot for watching.